Black and White is where Video Game Month gets a little weird for me because it feels like I just did. Well, I just played the game. It feels like, and I did a lot of videos for YouTube about less than a year ago now. So I've pretty much covered this game, and you know my thoughts about it. But you probably don't know AJ's as much. So what do you think about Black and White?
Well, I think that it's finally happened. I think the Pokemon Company has finally run out of precious items to name his game after.
That is true.
And so we've come down to Black and White. A revert to the original colors, actually. Which is kind of cool. In a certain way. I really did enjoy this game, to be quite honest. I don't know if I enjoyed it quite as much as I enjoyed Diamond and Pearl, though.
What do you think that is?
I'm really not sure. I think actually in some ways, in my opinion at least, it was, like the story wasn't near as good. And I loved the story. It was very epic. It was really cool. It was like, oh, we're going to destroy the world.
Was that for this one or the previous one?
Oh, for the previous one. Okay. This one was just kind of like, it was almost like watching the Tea Party on TV. You're not exactly sure what the enemy wants.
A lot of people
what they're
pointed
doing.
out that it was like Pokemon PETA, which is kind of
It was kind of like, but then they used Pokemon and all that kind of shit. It's like, what are they doing?
It kind of felt like the series taking on some of its criticisms in a way. Would it really need to?
Yeah, I don't really know. Although I did really enjoy the graphics. That Dragon Gym, oh my god, and the Sky Arrow Bridge and everything, amazing.
The graphical upgrade was definitely nice, especially the animations that all the Pokemon had as standard was another cool thing.
And how they could shut their eyes when they were asleep.
It seemed like a more dynamic camera system during the battle, so... I mean, it was the same thing over and over again, just like all the other games, but there was more action and more emphasis, so it passed the time a little bit better.
And the triple battles were a fun addition as well.
I don't think I really got into the triple battles now, because I totally forgot about that until you mentioned it right there.
Well, I liked them. I especially liked I got rid of these moves, but it was pretty awesome when I had it. I had like all the I had all the starters. Like when I first got the game, I got together with some of my friends, and like we had one person hold the game,
the whole trading thing,
and everybody traded to get their stuff. So I started out with all 3 starters, and there's like these 3 moves that starters can learn, like that has to do with each of their elements.
Yeah.
And like you mix those 2 together, and like a whole bunch of weird shit happens. Like fire and water and ground, or earth rather, make a swamp at the end of your turn on the other side or something. A rainbow shows up when you do fire and water together. Some just kind of cool little interesting surprises that were kind of nice to see, and an interesting addition to the gameplay itself.
What did you think about the fact that it was an entire new generation of new Pokemon? Like there was no Alakazams in this one. There was no Pikachu.
Oh, I actually really, really enjoyed that. It was very much like it kind of made it very much like the original. Where you just had just 150, and that's kind of like all you knew.
Yeah.
Now you knew there were more because you'd seen them before, but it was almost like you're rediscovering the Pokemon world all over again. It was also kind of interesting having 2 rivals, or 2 friends rather.
I did like
that. That was interesting.
Like that,
that was interesting. And one thing that was great about it is it filled up your Pokedex faster because everybody got a Pokemon. That was instead of just kind of leaving one behind.
Right.
And that was kind of cool. A couple
would you say that they're entirely original set of Pokemon, or were there a lot of parallels from the first generation?
There were a lot of parallels, but I know to all the generations really, and it seemed like a mix a lot of times of them. Like one of the most iconic Pokemon, really, I think for me at least, was Deerling, because it was the first one that was affected by the season, which was because this was the first game affected by seasons, and so it's kind of like a very iconic one, and it's not, of course, it doesn't harken back to the original 150 at all. It's probably closest related to Stantler.
Stantler, I guess.
Yeah, from Johto. Yeah, and they had some, and they really did have some actually unique ideas, to be quite honest. Because the progression of the 3 legendaries, this time they had almost human kind of people who were sort of almost like gods almost in a way, like the 3 weather Pokemon, which were I thought pretty cool.
There were some Greek mythology things in there.
Yeah, it was also nice to finally see an ant. That seems like something.
Durant.
Yeah, that seems like something that was skipped over.
Was there not an ant before?
No. Seems odd
But
that
all
we
the
skipped
bug
over.
Pokemon, there wasn't an ant.
There was never a fly either. Never a fly. It's
Well,
still-
butterflies
I don't-
and moths
Yeah, I don't
and
think there's.
bees
I
and-
still don't think there's actually been a fly. But it was kind of interesting to finally see an ant, and really Durant was one of my favorite Pokemon. It kind of sucked, but I liked it anyway.
I liked fighting him because with my fire Pokemon, I
It's
killed
like
him
bye.
really quick. My favorites,
oh,
again, some of the ones that some of the ones that I liked in the past games, like Poliwrath. I really like Poliwrath, so I happen to really like the Toad from this new game.
Oh yeah, what the
I
hell
like
is
the
his
new
name?
Golem,
Seismitoad.
Seismitoad. I like the new Golem. Who was it, Gigalith or something? Like
Gigalith. Yeah, I didn't.
I like
I didn't care for him too much.
the
I
new
thought it was a
champ.
very. I thought it was honestly a very when his first one, Rock and Roll. I thought it was he looked kind of like a butt, and I thought it was very
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought it was very very unfortunate that he learned the move Headbutt because his head basically looked like a butt.
Dude, I can't play with that Pokemon now. I just know he saved my ass in the Electric Gym.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That mother.
And I see, like when I got the Gigalith, I didn't like him that much because he wasn't enough of a and because I just basically traded him right as he evolved into a Boldore, and it wasn't enough of a
I
step
had
up
Boldore
for
for forever because I didn't know.
Yeah, and
Because
it
I
was-
went through it blind.
Yeah, because it wasn't and it didn't seem like enough of a step up, like move wise, and I kind of screwed the pooch on that one because I once they evolve, sometimes I can't learn
So I
stuff.
know someone who's more involved in the competitive scene than I am. Looked at, because I didn't look at any of the new Pokemon going into it, which was the most enjoyable experience for me. It really felt like a fresh experience that way. But
I did the
he
same
looked,
thing. Yeah.
He looked at the new Pokemon. He said that competitively, he thought these new guys were going to blow the old ones out of the water. And I don't know if that's happened at all because I haven't looked at the competitive scene. I haven't really touched it since I beat Black and White because I was very disappointed with the final battles in Black and White. I thought they were too easy, and then the one thing that was challenging was very cheap with Hydreigon.
Yeah.
Because you can't really get a Hydreigon until level 65, the fact that there was one in the Elite Four felt like, well, it's just throwing things at you to make it more difficult because it was difficult enough to begin with.
I really did love the animation for the Elite Four, and I also liked how you could choose which Elite Four you went up to.
That was
So,
a nice one.
that was an interesting touch, and the animation for it was cool. And then of course the resurrection of the castle and all that crap was pretty amazing. Like
It was a cool
artistically,
cutscene.
yeah. And honestly, it's pretty much the first. Like, except for maybe the very first one where the old man teaches you how to catch Pokemon, I think that's like one of the only cutscenes you've ever seen come out of the world of Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's
I wouldn't,
like that's
I wouldn't mind some more of that happening. I think
They have a couple. Then they had a couple cuts.
there were some that were like in game,
Yeah.
kind of.
I'm trying to think of was there something that I didn't like about the game? And one thing I didn't like was the 7 sages because I expected them to be all big and powerful and be able to fight them at one point, but you never did.
I
Like, I mean,
feel like
even
maybe
when
you
you
fight them after like you beat the game and all that, but I don't know.
Maybe I guess I haven't finished it completely, but
Yeah,
because
I
I
have no
remember
I'm
after.
sure someone will tell us.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, please
Yeah.
do tell us because I remember you get the Watcher, or the Hunter, or whatever the hell he is after you beat the game, and he says the 7 stages are scattered, so you got to find them. So you go all over the place and you try and find all 7. And I found all 7. And when you find them, they don't fight you. The guy just shows up and arrests them and takes
That's
them away
it.
to find out where Gexy's is. And I don't know if they come back later and you get to fight them or not. But it's kind of lame that you never really get to. Really, the team. What the hell is their name anyway?
Plasma?
It is actually, I think, in some ways, probably the lamest team we've seen so far.
It's definitely odd. Where do you think the Pokemon series goes from here? I know we talked in another video, which we will show at some point, about Black and White 2, but barring that, where do you think the next proper Pokemon game goes from here?
Well, I think that it'll probably be on the 3DS if we don't
It
have
would have
a
to be, I
better
would hope,
better
yeah.
system if we don't have a better system than that. And on to that, I really don't. My big thing is I don't really know when the Pokemon scene will end because you'd think it's over. No one really watches the show anymore.
Well, no one in our age group watches the show
Yeah,
anymore. I
that's
don't
true.
know if kids still watch the show. I think it's still on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's not as near as popular as it used to be, or it has been in the past. But what they need is an abridged series to save Yu-Gi-Oh's ass.
I haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but I love the DBZ Abridged. Is that what
Oh
you
god,
meant?
yeah.
Yeah.
It inspired the DVD abridged.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But yeah, but the thing is, I don't know really where Pokemon's gonna stop. And me personally, I think I'd kind of try and round it out at 1,000, But like coming up with like 100 different guys and new moves and all that kind of stuff every so often is pretty difficult. I mean,
Yeah, some people would argue that it's starting to show with things like the trash bag Pokemon and the ice cone.
Yeah,
ice cream cone,
yep.
things like that.
Things are getting more benign. Pretty soon you'll just be able to catch Bullet Bill.
Oh man, I would totally catch Bullet Bill.
I
Are you
would
kidding
too.
me?
I would.
No,
too.
we've had a Bullet Bill. It was that it was that shark thing.
Sharpedo.
Sharpedo practically was all attack, no defense, shaped like a bullet.
Okay.
I do like me a Sharpedo.
I was gonna say actually Bullet Bill winds up in the game at one point, and you fight Mario in the Elite Four or some shit like that.
I think at a certain point they'll have to change a little more than they usually do in order to keep people coming back. If they don't want to rely on the new generation each time. But one thing they might have to worry about is eventually just with the handheld market.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how long
The handheld
Nintendo's
market.
handhelds will survive against cell phones. And
Pretty
all
soon
that
there'll just be an
crap.
app for it. There'll be a Nintendo app or something.
I guarantee you, if someone figures out a Pokemon app that's really good and
People-
sells it for cheap and undersells Pokemon,
If you catch them,
it
they
could
will
happen.
come.
Angry Birds has done so much, and that game is so simple. So sometimes simple
Yeah.
things can do a
Simple things
lot.
catch on. No, I think actually, to be quite honest though, before we see another new set of Pokemon, I think
Yeah.
maybe the next step might be a revamp of the Hoenn region.
That
Because
would make sense
they've
for
done
what
it with
they've done,
with
yeah.
all the others, and I'd kind of look forward a little bit to seeing what it would be like, what differences they would have, but I don't know if I'd want to buy it as much as try and rent it somewhere or something, because I just didn't care for Hoenn that much.
Yeah,
I mean, it was still fun and everything, but
I think with you and me, the issue with that is we still have those games.
Yeah.
And they work. Did they work on 3DS?
No,
think they
DSi stopped having the port for
Okay,
Game Boy Advance.
I mean, I guess we still work on my DS. I'm getting old when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I am still waiting for a break in the machine and for the Pokemon Company or somebody to take Smash Brothers and Pokemon and just smash them together.
That'd be awesome.
That's what I want to see.
They've kind of done that a little
Somehow
bit
make an
already.
RPG system out of it. Though I've heard there's something called.
that'd be nice.
I think
They could make it a Dragon Warrior kind of thing almost. You go
I've
through-
heard that in Japan there's something called Nobunaga's Revenge, which I think is a strategy game, kind of. I don't know, correct me. That they've had
might
the
be correct.
Pokemon
I don't
thing
know.
crossover.
Hmm.
So that could be interesting if it comes to the United States. I want to see.
Which it won't, but
I think that idea would be really cool with Smash Bros. And Pokemon. I just want to see it done. I just know that they're so conservative sometimes with what they do to progress Pokemon that I don't know if we'll ever see it. But any final comments about Black and White?
Best Wishes is a stupid name.